In a somber economic landscape in China, businesses, factories, and car dealerships are facing closure, leading to a wave of layoffs and protests by workers who are being denied their rightful wages and job security. Simultaneously, numerous foreign enterprises are pulling out of China, with one such case being the departure of Japan-based company Dongyang Plastic Products, which had operated in Shanghai for over 2 decades. The company's decision to relocate to Vietnam has triggered a prolonged strike by its employees who are protesting the termination of labor contracts without proper compensation. Video footage from the scene shows a gathering of workers within the factory premises, although there are no visible banners or chants. According to reports from Radio Free Asia on January 15th, employees of Dongyang Plastic Products began their strike on January 10th, and the strike continues as disputes between the workers and management remain unresolved, prompting government intervention. Social media users on the platform Douyin revealed that the company's move to Vietnam was prompted by its inability to withstand China's economic downturn. However, an agreement on compensation standards between the company and its workers had not been reached, leading to the strike. Established in May 2002, Dongyang Plastic Products primarily engaged in the production and sale of precision plastic molds and electrical precision plastic components. The company was located in the Dongyang industrial zone in Shanghai's Dongyang district, covering an area of over 20,000 square meters and employing over 500 people. Dongyang Plastic Products, a subsidiary of the Toyo Group, was a wholly owned enterprise founded by the group within China. The Toyo Group had branch offices in Dongguan, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Hong Kong. On January 10th, Dongyang Plastic Products issued a notice to all employees stating that the company had entered the liquidation phase and would initiate the company's deregistration process. The company decided to terminate contracts with employees by January 18, 2024, and in accordance with labor law regulations, provide compensation equivalent to 1 month's salary for each completed year of service. The notice also mentioned that if employees signed and agreed to the aforementioned statutory compensation plan and cooperated with the necessary procedures by 6 p.m. on January 17th, the company would provide an additional month's salary as a bonus. The company also warned that it had the right to pursue legal action against any employee engaged in illegal activities during this period. However, the employees did not accept this compensation plan. Many of them had worked at the company for over 2 decades, starting in their 20s and now in their 40s. They argued that it was difficult to find new employment at their age, and they had not paid enough into their insurance. They believed that they had devoted their entire youth to the company and deserved better compensation. To express their demands, workers began the strike on January 10th, seizing production and gathering both inside and outside the company premises, as well as at local petition offices. They declared their intention to continue the protest until they receive a satisfactory response. A man named Mr. Yeah expressed that the trend of foreign companies relocating to Southeast Asian countries due to China's economic challenges has become prevalent. They cited the lack of freedom and increased government control under the current Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, system as factors contributing to this trend. It's not limited to foreign companies. Many domestic businesses are also moving to countries like Vietnam. Mr. Yap pointed out that foreign companies used to offer relatively high compensation to employees who had worked for many years. However, after this practice was criticized as malicious compensation by the government, compensation standards for such cases have been lowered in China. This has left long-term employees in a difficult situation, as they feel that the offered compensation is insufficient. Mr. Chung, a mainland resident, remarked that foreign companies used to offer relatively generous compensation to employees who had worked for many years. However, this practice had repercussions, causing significant impacts on domestic businesses. Consequently, compensation standards for such cases have been considerably reduced within China. This has placed long-serving employees in a challenging situation as they find the offered compensation inadequate. Many of these veteran employees have dedicated 1 or 2 decades of their lives to these companies, and they are left wondering how they will manage with such meager compensation. This situation highlights the complex dynamics surrounding compensation practices and their impact on both foreign and domestic enterprises in China. Regarding the workers' strike, some said that it is sad that a factory that has been in business for decades is about to shut down. A person must feel so hopeless to be willing to strike. In recent years, foreign companies and foreign investments have been steadily withdrawing from China. Furthermore, in the past week, there have been reports circulating online about the deregistration of Hewlett-Packard's Shanghai operations. On January 17th, HP China responded, stating that Hewlett-Packard Shanghai has been in a dormant state for the past several years, with no business activities conducted and no employees hired. With approval from HP headquarters, the company has successfully completed the business deregistration process. The deregistration of HP Shanghai has raised concerns about HP's gradual withdrawal from mainland China. On January 18th, NetEase reported that plans regarding HP's capacity migration had surfaced in early 2023. Anonymous sources revealed that HP had convened multiple electronic manufacturing suppliers to clarify its industrial relocation plans. It was explicitly stated that the production line for commercial-grade laptops would be moved to Mexico, primarily to serve the high-end consumer market in North America. Similarly, it was specified that the production line for consumer-grade laptops would be relocated to Thailand, primarily serving the European market and the Asia-Pacific region, including China. According to Voice of America's report on January 17th, last year witnessed the sudden eruption of various long-standing issues accumulated in the Chinese economy, including debt crisis, bursting real estate bubbles, declining population, surging unemployment, sustained low demand, and mass closures of businesses, all occurring with remarkable speed. I've been unemployed for a month now. I can't sleep at night because of anxiety. Every day I open the applications I submitted online. Most of them are useless. I don't want to accept the unreasonable demands of small companies. I'm not satisfied with anything. I've been working hard. There has never been a suitable interview for me, and I seem to have fallen into a vicious cycle. I began to question my own abilities over the years. Is it because I lacked core competitiveness and failed to make a good plan for myself? I lacked resiliency, which shows the importance of side hustle. The anxiety caused by unemployment may be due to the loss of a sense of belonging. It seems that once you lose your job, you lose the ability to participate in social activities, which causes anxiety. How to deal with it? Should we not take work seriously? Will this kind of anxiety be reduced? Life is so difficult, and you have to know clearly what you are missing. Even if it cannot be solved immediately, you can at least find some opportunities for self-help.
I may not be able to survive because I am unemployed. I just completed the exit procedures 2 days ago, ending my 3-year career. Looking back, I woke up early as normal a few days ago, took the subway to work, and ordered takeout for lunch as normal. Then my boss called me to the office in the afternoon and said that he would reduce my salary to 3,000 yuan. To put it bluntly, he was forcing me to resign. I'm about to turn 33. My child is just over 1 year old, and we will begin to face the days of no income. The mortgage, car loan, water and electricity, property, as well as food, drink, and debts all require money. Without income, I feel really panicked. Everyone, old and young, is under a lot of pressure. I used to be responsible for the live broadcast project in the company, but because I am older and cannot stay up late, and the new people I brought out obviously have more potential than me, I was finally laid off. This is the reality.
Do you know how many people in Shanghai have lost their jobs this year? I work in loans in Shanghai. I found that the current employment environment in Shanghai is really bad. I just heard that the entire site of my previous company was withdrawn. There was no other reason than that the market was not good and there was no performance, so everyone had to be laid off. There are more and more unemployed people around me, and everyone is rushing to take the public postgraduate entrance examination. But some people have been idle for 2 or 3 years and are still preparing for the exam. Turns out that is a tough path too. Some friends who are looking for jobs have already planned to become food delivery drivers. But after so much schooling, are you willing to deliver food? So now that I have a job that pays me my salary on time and allows me to 2 days off, I really need to cherish it. To friends who are looking for a job, don't be too picky. If it's good enough, take it. A survey conducted by the Conference Board in November 2023 revealed a decline in confidence among multinational CEOs operating in China. The survey, which focused on 35 CEOs primarily from American and European companies with a presence in China, showed a drop in their confidence index concerning China from 72 points to 54 points in the latter half of the year. The same study also found that 40% of the interviewed CEOs expected a reduction in capital investment, with nearly an equal number foreseeing layoffs in the coming 6 months, a stark contrast to the 9% recorded in the first half of the previous year. Another sign of China's declining attractiveness to foreign investors is that as of the end of September 2023, foreign companies had repatriated profits for 6 consecutive quarters, amounting to over $160 billion in total. This continuous outflow of profits led to the first negative growth in foreign direct investment, FDI, in 25 years during the third quarter. According to data released by China's State Administration of Foreign Exchange in November 2023, FDI for the third quarter of 2023 stood at a negative $11.8 billion, marking the first quarterly negative value recorded since 1998. This indicated that capital outflows exceeded inflows by this much. Bloomberg, based on data from China's Ministry of Commerce, published on December 21, 2023, calculated that China's new actual foreign investment in November 2023 was 53.3 billion yuan, approximately $7.5 billion, a year-on-year decrease of 19.5%. Official data from China's balance of payments shows that foreign direct investment is leaving China at a record pace. Foreign-funded enterprises are not only refraining from making new investments, but some are also selling existing assets on a large scale and repatriating profits to their headquarters. A report by J.P. Morgan in September 2023 revealed that half of the $250 billion to $300 billion in foreign bond investments made since 2019 have been withdrawn. Private equity and venture capital investments from the United States in China have declined by over 50%. By the end of 2023, reports emerged that Gallup, a U.S.-based consulting company, was exiting the Chinese market. Additionally, U.S. asset management giant Vanguard Group was reported to be taking its final steps in withdrawing from China. These companies joined the list of foreign firms exiting China amid Beijing's tightening national security reviews on businesses and increasing geopolitical tensions. According to reports from British media, more than 3/4 of foreign funds that flowed into the Chinese stock market in the first 7 months of 2023 have withdrawn. They collectively sold more than $25 billion worth of stocks, with funds shifting towards other Asian stock markets. The exodus of foreign companies and foreign investments has raised deep concerns among the top Chinese leadership. Chinese Premier Li Qiang, on January 16th at the Davos World Economic Forum, called out to the world, stating that China's doors will only open wider and that China sincerely welcomes businesses from all countries to continue investing in China. However, Elizabeth Braw, a columnist for Foreign Policy magazine and a senior fellow with Atlantic Council's Transatlantic Security Initiative, expressed that for Western companies, China is becoming an increasingly difficult and unpredictable environment. Businesses are concerned about becoming potential targets of retaliation by the Chinese Communist government. An article published by the Peterson Institute for International Economics on January 15th suggests that multinational corporations may not be fully withdrawing from China, which has caught the attention of the Chinese government. They are attempting to revitalize foreign investment with more supportive rhetoric and policies. However, these efforts are seen as commitment fatigue by foreign businesses who doubt whether the supportive rhetoric from the Chinese government can genuinely translate into meaningful policy actions. According to Voice of America, in the past 2 years, Xi Jinping has accelerated the process of decoupling with the West under the pretext of national security. Domestically, there has been increased surveillance of foreign companies, and a nationwide anti-espionage campaign has made foreign businesses and tourists uneasy. The European Chamber of Commerce in China and the American Chamber of Commerce in Shanghai, representing nearly 2,000 European and American companies respectively, released China business environment reports in September 2023. Both reports highlight that China's business environment is becoming increasingly challenging for Western companies to adapt to. While Beijing continues to emphasize its focus on foreign investment, national security has taken precedence. Nearly 2/3 of European companies in China believe that the increasingly complex legal and regulatory framework in China is making it difficult to seize business opportunities. While foreign capital is withdrawing from China, Southeast Asia is becoming the new favorite for foreign investment, attracting a historic high of $222 billion in foreign direct investment in 2022, with the United States leading global investment. According to data from the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, during the period from 2017 to 2022, when the U.S.-China trade war escalated, foreign investment in the 11 Southeast Asian countries grew by 40%, surpassing the growth in foreign investments in China, Latin America, and Africa. Furthermore, records from the Financial Times indicate that U.S. companies invested $74.3 billion in Southeast Asia from 2018 to 2022, with a focus on semiconductor-related industries in countries such as Singapore and Malaysia. In a statement released by the U.S. State Department after President Biden's visit to Vietnam in September of the previous year, it was mentioned that Vietnam has the potential to become a partner in ensuring diversification and resilience in the semiconductor supply chain. Subsequently, U.S. companies like Marvell Technology and Synopsys expressed a strong desire to invest in Vietnam. Additionally, Taiwan has seen explosive growth in its investments in Southeast Asia. According to statistics from the Taiwan Ministry of Economic Affairs, investments in Southeast Asia in 2022 increased by 120% compared to 2016, surpassing investments in China for the first time. Trade also exceeded $180 billion, marking an 80% increase.